Welcome into our live stream tonight. We have one thing to mention here, Rick. Hold on, the referee. We've got a false start on Rick DeLuca and Mark Weinberg. That's a 15-yard penalty. Repeat first down. All right, we started the video. We had a small little issue. We apologize for those that jumped in a little bit early. But those that came back in, you guys are awesome. So just a reminder, actually share this video. Don't share the other one with the false start. Nobody wants to watch that one. Share the video. It helps us get the video out to more people if you're joining us on our Facebook feed. By the way, if there's, let's say, 50 people in here on the Facebook feed and you share it and you got 100 people following you, then that means 5,000 people would be able to know that we're doing the live and they may want to jump in, and you could let them know that it's actually working on normal for tonight. What we're going to be discussing here in this video, Rick, I think a lot of people are like, you know what, the rain was cool. I'm glad we got a little bit of rain, but I think there's also probably a pretty substantial group that are probably saying, okay, great, the rain, the rain was cool. Let's move on.
I'm over it.
News story, right?
Yeah, I'm over it is what people kept saying today, especially when you're trying to just the most simple things of just going to school, going to work, bringing groceries, that sort of stuff. It just makes it a little extra annoying. And I understand that, especially when there's not a gap. It's not like we had some dry time.
Yeah.
You could have gotten out. A lot of the day has been sort of a washout, depending where you are.
It's been a weird year.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like we're either absolutely pouring, like we've got heavy rain that's ongoing, or it feels like we're in a drought.
It's all or nothing. It's really all or nothing.
And
so
we're still 9 inches above rain for the year. 9 inches above rain for the year, which is a lot. Again, before we jump into this, if you guys are just joining us and you're on our Facebook feed, please share it. If you're joining us on YouTube or X, we appreciate you guys in here. If you enjoy the videos on the Facebook feed, let's see some thumbs up and some hearts raining across the screen. And we are going to spend some time here talking tonight about this rain that, as we noted, there's a lot of people that kind of feel like, okay, I get it. Rick, when you look at some of these numbers, considering that 3 weeks ago we had moderate drought. I don't think we ever got severe in our area, but we had moderate drought.
But it didn't make it.
That's huge. And this has not been rain that's fallen over a couple of hours. This isn't convective. Those numbers have brought some substantial rain. Columbia at 1.4. You're sitting at 1.58 inches of rain in the Munfordville area. Let me say that again, since midnight. And this doesn't include rain that fell for you yesterday. Munfordville's at 1.58 on the day. Campbellsville, yesterday you saw an inch of rain. Today you saw 1.5. Storm totals 2.5. Litchfield 1.36, 1.25. Hardinsburg, Shelbyville 1 inch, 3/4 of an inch in the Campbellsville or Clarksville area. And I know you're in Bedford saying, Mark, I don't want you to, I need some of that rain too. Done. You're sitting at an amount coming in at 0.46. So the rain that we have seen in the area, Rick, is really, really good rain.
And it's been durational. It's not like it rained really hard and then stopped where you get a lot of runoff. This has been a constant, steady, moderate to even at times some heavier rainfall. This is the one where your windshield wipers, you kind of have to set them on that medium, high setting where they keep going, but you don't want them full speed and you don't want them too low. So kind of finding that sweet spot as to where the windshield wipers can effectively clear off the rain, but not distract you or not go too slow. It's been... Maybe some people have automatic ones. I'm not that fancy. Sorry. I'm still doing it old school.
So you're out there moving them. You've got a little thing inside your car.
No,
so
I'm not doing that.
So you're moving the windshield wipers manually when you're in there?
No, but I'm just saying I'm trying to adjust, and then I go too far, then readjust, and it's like, no, it's too little. So you got to find that.
I struggle. Sweet spot.
I struggle with my windshield wipers. Maybe I just need to change them too. That could be. That could be a
I have new windshield wipers now, so I appreciate the need for a nice wiper blade. Rick, we even when we look in Metro here, Louisville didn't get much yesterday, but some of these numbers are fantastic in the Metro.
Look at the airport closing in on 1 inch.
Closing in on an inch. Chickasaw gauge 1.03, about 0.8 of an inch in Fern Creek. Fairdale, I don't know if that one's malfunctioning, but shows 1.35 on the MSD gauge. Over an inch in Middletown. You've seen a lot of rain in Linden and Sellersburg, 1.1, and in Fern Creek about over 3/4 of an inch. And I know that there's the group that are saying ugh. In fact, we just got one of those uggs. Suzanne just said, I'm so tired of the cold and the rain. Suzanne, I get it. Watching from Elizabethtown here. Sherry is talking. Here's the thing, Rick, we still have it abnormally dry in our area.
Yeah.
So I'm the first to admit that, yeah, it's been gloomy, it's been rainy, it's been cloudy, but abnormally dry in Seymour and North Vernon and Madison, you're like, I could use some of this.
And it's not a bad thing to get some of this rain, especially this time of the year. There are a lot of people who like to put some seed down.
Yep.
And do some sodding and maybe some landscaping and so forth. So the actual kind of back and forth between the rain, the pattern we've been seeing, not necessarily a bad thing if you're trying to, you know, do a little upgrade on your yard. Not so bad at all. And like you said, the abnormally dry compared to what this was, this map looks so much better.
I know.
Again, just an area of abnormally dry, which doesn't mean drought. I know a lot of people see yellow and they assume, okay, well, we're in drought around Seymour, Madison. No. D0, abnormally dry, means you're on the cusp of potentially going into drought if you don't get any more rainfall. And Mark, that it's not an if, it's happening.
Yeah, I mean, Terry just told us out of Bedford she's seen 1.4 inches since yesterday. So these are good rain totals. That's what it looks like outside. Rick DeLuca and I just went to dinner a little bit ago, came back into our Studio C to do this video. And yeah, there is quite a bit of rain that's occurring in our area right now. Let me take you through some of the tour on this one. We've got widespread rain ongoing right now as we look towards the Lovett area. This is a really solid band right now. That includes areas like Madison, just off to your west through Saluda, through New Washington. That is solid rain, my friend. Rain continuing in New Liberty. In Metro, you can see eastern side of the county has the heaviest rain, and especially as we go into Shelby County. So we've got moderate rain ongoing Simpsonville, northern part of Shelby County. A little pocket right now near Hurstbourne and 64. We've got rain ongoing right now, and I'll give you a look at that. Heavier as we move towards Hardinsburg, through around Fordsville and Litchfield. And this is good, solid rain right now in Springfield through Lebanon. And I don't want to miss you in the Lawrenceburg area. You are seeing solid rain right now. So this is super beneficial rain. I don't think the ground is ultra hard right now because we've had a lot of rain, but even if it was, getting this much rain over 2 days softens the topsoil, gets rain to the subsoil, and from an agricultural standpoint, this is important stuff. That subsoil moisture is where you get drought. Rick, the satellite here is cool, really cool, because you can very clearly see where that low is spinning. It's basically almost right now sitting on top of Nashville.
Yeah, it's like a basically if you look at the border of Tennessee, Mississippi, and Alabama, that's where we're seeing that twirl, that twist, and that's low pressure, which means the counterclockwise flow that goes around that low, and we are on the northern side of that. So we're just getting that fetch of moisture, and it has been nonstop all day long. A good rain, considering we're not seeing flooding. You know, oftentimes we get this sort of rain in a short period of time. Thankfully, it's not as intense, but you know the spots I'm talking about, down by U of L. You know, we get low-lying flooding in many locations. Some people have been dealing with basement flooding, but we are not seeing flooding. We're not seeing severe weather. We're just getting good old-fashioned rain, which is something around the Ohio Valley we don't get to say that often. Usually comes with a severe chance or, you know, perhaps too much rain. This is one that we can actually take, sit down, and, you know, you lay on the couch a little bit. When it's raining like this, it's really tough to get off the couch. You really
it
just
is
want to
actually.
stay in bed.
I'm not gonna lie, he's 100% right on that.
And it's been so gloomy. Listen, after 3 days of cloudy skies, I get kind of weird. I know I already am.
Really, you weird?
I know.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm actually surprised to hear you actually say that you.
I'm comfortable with my weirdness, and I'm one with myself. But yeah, but that's the thing. I need some sun once in a while, just to get the motivation, energy going a little bit. So I understand the gloomy weather may have you down a little bit, but hang in there. We're getting close to the end of this rainfall, but tonight that's not going to be the case. So let's say you sleep better when you have that rain kind of pitter-pattering on your roof, then
it'll be a good night.
Yes, a very good night for sleep.
So I think actually there's one thing that's kind of cool. Look here at the way the air is going. If you look from Alabama, it's moving towards DC, and then look over our area. You can see it's moving in a different direction. So what this is called is diffluence.
Influence.
So the air is spreading apart, and that air spreading apart creates a vacuum, sucks air up, causes rising motion generates rain.
It's cool how much that rain's expanded.
I
just
know,
looking at
because
that
we're in the
area.
diffluent
Yeah,
area.
it's
So,
awesome.
and if this was winter, this would be how you get big snows. This is textbook Ohio Valley, how you get big snows. That you have to have that low going to the south, and what happens is that low then climbs the spine of the Rockies and then starts to make a move northward. This is a classic track in the Ohio Valley. When this one happens with northeasterly flow, we would get snow. You can see there is the upper level low spinning. Worth mentioning here, and we did a video a couple days ago about Melissa. Melissa, thankfully, is probably going to not bring the worst impacts to Turks Caicos. Melissa has 90-mile-an-hour winds that are going through the extreme southern Bahamas. And then from here, you can see it's been incredible how many times Bermuda has been in some way affected this year. That's not the norm. Bermuda, I think people think it's out in the middle of the ocean. They're always going to get hit. It's a tiny, tiny island. And more often than not, it curves one side or the other. But another time, a Cat 2 is going to go right by Bermuda.
And I feel like the kicks that we've been getting on the East Coast, keeping those storms away from the U.S. is almost, while it's saved us, it has put them in the crosshairs.
I know.
Time and time again. You know, Mark, I know you've been on social media today, seeing some of the stuff coming out of Jamaica.
Hard.
It's hard. I mean, you can see basically some of the trees have been reduced to.
Have you seen the one that looked like sticks?
Like toothpicks almost.
So
and then there's the mud that's just been pushed on shore. I mean, like feet of it. You know, and you see the people wandering around trying to pick up the pieces and say, you know, what's left? Where do I go from here? The aerial views do kind of confirm.
This was Cat 5.
Cat 5, and also the you know, the likelihood that they would be in EF4 style winds for a long period of time.
And that's a tough one, man.
It's tough, but the aerials, I mean, they're not pretty.
I looked at a lot. I spent actually some time because Rick and I talked about this. So
surveys and forensics. So that's what I was curious what you thought about some of that.
So I will tell you, my background is in with the Doppler on wheels. It's a mobile Doppler radar team. When we went out, we took radar data of tornadoes, hurricanes, things like that. I was on 3 deploys with the Doppler on wheels. And then after the deploys, many times, in particular with tornadoes, we would do surveys. So those surveys would then allow us to see what damage was caused and what we were seeing on radar. And obviously the goal here is so that we can mesh radar with what actually is occurring on the ground truth. Then you have obviously the idea. I worked as a forensic meteorologist for several years. So if there was an event, a tornado hits a house, your insurance company says that wasn't a tornado. You say, look, it was a tornado that hit my house. I would go out there and then I would do an assessment of what occurred, produce a report for insurance companies or the individual, depending on who was interested or who hired me. The report was obviously unbiased and had nothing other than science in it, but would produce the report and then, if necessary, would testify. So the court recognizes me as an expert and expert testimony on this. So again, I just wanted to give you the background on that. But I'll tell you what I saw. The things that I saw, the one with the sticks, there was an aerial shot by one of the, I think it's Live Storm Media guys, LSM, and it was flying over an area that had all the trees, and remember, a lot of those trees there are going to be palm. So those have a increased ability to withstand wind because of the nature of the tree. It wasn't, what was jarring to me is that they look like toothpicks. And we saw that in Michael. The other thing I found interesting is a lot of those structures look like they were built with concrete.
They were.
So concrete is going to be more difficult to destroy, which then meant we'd need to look at like how the roofs did. And it looked from the things I saw that virtually every roof was removed, destroyed, but a lot of the structures stood, which surprised me a little bit because that means because those structures were built with concrete, they actually held up okay. But with the roof removed, then rain goes in and it just obliterates.
Right. Even then,
so
you're still talking about a lot of damage because everything inside is just virtually destroyed.
It's a horrible situation, and that really is where we are. But you tuned in to find out locally about home. Taking a look outside in Louisville right now, you can see Louisville. It is cloudy. It is rainy. It is ugly right now in the E-Town area.
like Gotham
E-Town,
out
you're not ugly. We love you. Asher's in here
Yeah.
from E-Town, but it doesn't look pretty outside. Cordon showing the rain
Dixie
ongoing.
Highway. Ooh,
Yeah.
soaked in Seymour.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of nice drops there. That's it. And you can see the breeze there, Rick.
Yeah.
Look at that wind.
27. That's cool.
27-mile-an-hour winds in the Seymour area. And these are instantaneous. Austin coming in at 7 miles an hour, 8 mile an hour in Shelbyville. But the winds in the northern part of our area are the strongest. We promised you a little bit of an assessment on when the rain was going to end. So let's start to dive into this. Rick, what we have is a monumental low sitting above our area right now. A low of this strength is going to generate a lot of rain. Interestingly, we'll spend a lot more time on this, but if this pattern holds through winter, and I would argue it has that potential, there definitely will be cold in the northern plains. That would probably ease towards our area, and then the question is, can you get a strike?
Right.
Being a La Nina winter, that can happen, but this low right now, because it is such a deep low, is going to take some time to move. Once it goes by, those northwesterly winds are everything.
Yeah, and they just pull in drier air, and that will really help allow for not only the rain to stop, but some sunshine to return. I would say tomorrow, during the morning hours, still be prepared. If you use the rain gear today, have the rain gear by the door tomorrow. You may need it leaving the house. Nothing as intense, nothing as widespread, nothing as long, but there could still be some hit or miss type showers out the morning, a little bit of drizzle, some of that mist, more of the nuisance type stuff. But by the afternoon, once those winds flip around, like Mark alluded to, we get that drier flow of air. It will help reduce the rain, the clouds, and we may even end up with some late day breaks of sunshine. Just a little sign of hope as to what's to come as we close out the week. And a lot of people are curious this week about Halloween, Mark, because you're seeing all this rain, and I've seen some questions in here. Before I get to anything else,
Yes,
hold on, we got
say it.
Sherry. You see it?
I see it.
Sherry, it's your 56th birthday. You don't want us to sing, but happy birthday to you, Sherry. From
Please, everybody in the feed, comment.
Yeah,
and
wish
let
her a
Sherry
happy
know
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Give her some cakes, some candles.
She said that she did not have the best weather on her birthday, and that
I know she's still gonna eat some ice cream. It looks like though.
that's the important thing, Rick. I think we all know
If you eat ice cream,
it's a good day.
it's a good day.
Does Mia and Alicia? I know you like ice cream. Does Mia, the Mia and Alicia?
How do you think we bribe her?
So she loves it.
Strawberry ice cream.
It's strawberry for her?
Strawberry ice cream. Sometimes vanilla.
She does branch. She lives dangerously.
She's very. I mean, I'm a mint chocolate chip guy.
I didn't know this.
I love mint chocolate chip. Some people are like, it tastes like toothpaste. I really like it.
I'm sensing some anger here.
Well, because I like it. Mia likes it too. So, but it's funny because when we give Mia ice cream, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna hold it for you. I can hold it, but sorry, Alicia. If Alicia holds it, she's like, no, because
she takes it right back.
She knows she'll eat a bite of it. Where I'm just like, I respect the ice cream boundaries. But yeah, happy birthday to you, Sherry. I know it's been kind of a soggy day, but hope you have enjoyed your birthday.
Another one,
surrounded by
too.
some loved ones. Another one?
Christina's birthday was her 44th was yesterday. Everybody wish Christina happy birthday.
Evans, 44th.
I love the feeds. We have just a lot of quality people that always wish the happy birthday. So
send some love to those people.
Yeah, they did not have the best birthday weather this year, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the day. So looking at rain amounts here, Rick, this is the right now. Advanced Track is doing a real good job on dealing with where we stand now.
I'm looking at the latest HRRR, which is what we have on here, and it's a high resolution model. So basically, if it's doing a good job at depicting what's happening right now, then we can rely on what it has to say moving forward. So it has the rain in the right location, timing, everything's matching up. So now when we look and we fast forward, we can actually start to time out some of this rain, becoming more showery around 10. And notice the coverage is coming down as we move toward midnight, and you also don't see as many pockets of yellow on there, which means it's not as much moderate rain. We transition to lighter rain, more showery overnight. 2 o'clock in the morning, the low starts to pull off to our south and to our east. And on the back side, there are a lot of clouds left. There are some lighter rain showers, some mist and drizzle. And you can see at 7 a.m., the entire map is not painted green, but there are some pockets of rain depending on where you are. That's showing it primarily west of I-65, but that's more of a concept. I wouldn't take that as gospel. And then that low slides away, pulls some more showers through 9, 10 o'clock, especially in Indiana, according to this run. And then by 11 o'clock to around noon, we start to really begin shutting down the showers. But I would say, looking at some of the information, it's probably going to take until the afternoon, like 1 or 2, before we really start to see the dry air working down, and that's going to take a little bit of
Yeah,
time.
when you look at the sounding, which kind of just, if this is the atmosphere above us, we're basically looking at a static location directly above us. How much moisture is in the column?
Right.
You can see the column starts to dry probably around 1 or
Right.
2, which is interesting. When you look at the data, it is matching that verbatim. So that means I think we can shut things down probably tomorrow. I think between 12 and 2. Now, that's not to say some won't shut it down a little bit quicker. I would say if you're west of I-65,
Correct.
9, 10 in the morning, maybe able to shut down. Near 65 is going to be noon through around 2 is when we'll probably shut down. And then as you go a little bit further off to the east, it's probably going to be between 1 and 3 for areas like Lawrenceburg, Frankfurt, through around the Columbia area. So it'll take some time to get this to shut down. And then from here, how much rain, which is the obvious question. I'm going to show you the same model that Rick was just talking about. So Rick, this is what we call the HRRR. This is a high resolution computer model. What you see I find kind of interesting is that area where the diffluence is, extends from E-Town, Louisville. You definitely can see that V where the rain numbers are a little bit larger. And it shows additionally about a ½ inch in E-Town, Louisville, Seymour, Madison, Frankfurt. And Rick, I actually think those are very reasonable numbers going forward. Maybe a ½ inch more for Louisville, Campbellsville. I think you can probably get a quarter. And I think Paoli, Hardinsburg is probably going to see a little bit less here. So we will start to see that slow down just a little bit. So if you have any plans for tomorrow, be aware. I did speak with the University of Louisville. I don't know if you knew this, but track and field, the cross country national championships are in Louisville again this year.
Oh, no way.
So on
Okay.
Friday. So what we did for tomorrow is they were going to do their practicing starting at 9 a.m. Spoke with University of Louisville. We worked with the NCAA exactly, and we were able to get that move from noon to 5.
Nice.
So the cross countryers that are in town for the national championships will be going noon tomorrow through 5. And then we're not going to need to make any adjustments for Friday because I think Friday is going to work out really well.
Right.
We do help many of the universities around the area. I work specifically with NCAA on regional and national championship level events. So, and we've all kind of come to the realization, you and I have talked about this a lot of times, Rick. There was a time where college athletics, in a lot of ways, they were just, there were people that were just doing this. And in their credit, they really, really did the best with what they could. But they're not meteorologists.
No.
And we feel it created a dilemma out there where people
and
could
they were
get
using
hurt.
multiple apps too,
Yeah.
just trying to you look at 4 different apps and say, okay, well I'll take the average, that's not forecasting. And when you have people's lives, you don't want to risk that kind of stuff.
And the NCAA, huge credit to them, have recognized the importance of having meteorologists on site. In a lot of these national level events, super regional level events, you end up with requirements for meteorologists to be on site if there's any active weather. And I told you about this one, but baseball, this was a big deal last year. I helped with the University of Louisville with the regionals and super regionals. And last year they added something into the mix, the NCAA did, where if there was a meteorologist on site who deemed that the lightning threat had lowered, you could actually cut into the 30-minute delay. Here's an interesting one for you that I never told you this story. So the NCAA has new rules on this. The broadcaster did not follow those rules. The broadcaster had their old rules, which followed the 30-minute protocol. So I'm not going to say specifically because there's no point in it, but there was in a situation where lightning had left the area of the storm that could produce it. Nothing else could happen.
Right.
I green-lighted the game. They couldn't restart it because the broadcaster was still using the old threshold of 30 minutes. So that I had given the NCAA the green light. They green lighted the restart, but we couldn't restart the game because the broadcaster had their own meteorology or their own app or whatever it is, and was staying according to the old rules.
Well, yeah,
It's
that's sort of
interesting, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, and also it's nice that they've recognized that there's a better way to do things now.
But it still is a problem right now because I know the broadcasters are still managing that way. I would say that if you have a meteorologist on site, I assume Rick would say the same thing. It's the safest way to do things.
Right.
So.
And also for the coaches and the fans' sakes, you get things back started far sooner than you could.
As soon as Mother Nature allows.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes there's not the opportunity. Sometimes there's definitely the opportunities here. So rainfall timeline here, we're going to continue through the overnight hours through about midday tomorrow. And so from here, we do want to open it up to some questions. So you can ask questions and we can answer. Somebody said they got a pumpkin spice cappuccino today. I think that's a great decision. I'm not gonna lie. Christina, I think that's Christina's birthday was yesterday. Christina, that's a great way to celebrate a birthday. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I would do the exact same thing. I never asked you. Do you like pumpkin spice?
I don't partake in the pumpkin spice.
Is it make you mad though?
No, I mean I don't have
Have
any.
you
I don't have
noticed
any
that?
emotion. I don't have any emotion.
Have you noticed how some people get angry if you
Some
have
people
it?
get angry. Yes.
Like you can see it agitates them if you drink it
I
too
feel
early.
like you also like to push people's buttons.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know exactly what I mean. Other people in the studio, Mike Marshall, doesn't really like the smell of pumpkin spice.
I don't believe this.
He
So
says
I'm gonna tell you something. This is the true story. So I ran out of pumpkin spice coffee. I'm out. And I brought a coffee out the other day and put it next to him. And I'm like, Mike,
You just bait him.
I got a nice cup of pumpkin spice coffee right here. And he went, that smells horrible. It wasn't even pumpkin spice. It was creme brulee.
And that one smells really good.
Exactly.
He has a predisposition.
Exactly. He didn't
hates
even
it.
know, and he still said it smelled terrible.
All right. Well, we got to keep trying that.
Angela is saying pumpkin spice latte rocks.
What is it? It's a PSL. Is that it?
PSL.
The PSL. Someone said that, and I was like, "What are you?"
And I gotta ask. We got 58 people on my page watching right now. Anybody still on Team Holdout? People have asked me. I haven't posted a picture in a little while. Rick is actually sometimes on Team Holdout and Team Caved in the same day.
Thanks. And also,
if it's not accurate,
Team Windows open.
Sometimes you have the heat and the air conditioning on in your house at the same time.
I have no control.
Is this true? Do you have it on at the same time?
It's not me. It's on. I'm not the one doing it. But sometimes the AC's on downstairs, the heat's on upstairs, and there's windows open. And I get home. It's like, what's happening? I don't understand. Should I just burn money? It's just, you know me. I turn the lights off, make sure everything's at the right temperature. Like, the thermostat wars are real. I don't know what's happening at your house, but at the end of the day, as long as everyone's comfortable and we're not wasting money, I'm okay.
So I am still on Team Holdout. Of surprise to me.
Are you wearing your jacket to bed yet?
No, my house. So here's the true story on this one. When we went into this pattern, my house dropped from around 70 to 66. This was on Saturday. It never dropped a degree since then. Even though we've been
below 66?
It's 66. Even though we've had clouds and rain almost every day, and I'm gonna guess it's because the nights haven't been ultra cold.
That's true.
I think the nights are what pull the temperature down. I originally said I was gonna try to make it to November the 15th. Can I make it? I think if I get past Halloween, because that's gonna be a cold morning, and then Saturday morning.
Right. Then we start turning.
We'll get some sun again next week.
Sun.
I think I can make it. My goal is November the 15th. Throw me some thumbs up on Facebook if you think I can make it to that level. There are people there. Some saying I'm still on Team Holdout. Sherry is.
Emily is.
Let's see. Yeah, there's a number of people still on Holdout here. Yeah, Emily's Team Holdout. Jamie's Team Holdout. So I think I can make it. This will be, if I make it to November the 15th, this will be a big deal. Because I don't think I would have Fallon was the last to drop out.
So you're still holding the trophy.
I'm doing this all by, let me just grab this real quick.
This isn't a trophy behind. It's not the right trophy, but
hold on a second here.
That's gonna be your trophy.
I'd like to thank all the viewers out there.
Oh my goodness.
I'd like to thank my parents for having me. Thank you. I'd like to thank Rick DeLuca for turning the heat on and the air conditioning on in the same day. I'd like to thank you guys for laughing at me. I was out yesterday working out at the gym, and somebody came up to me and said, "Hey, Mark, I'm still on Team Holdout." And I'd like to thank you for staying on Team Holdout. I'd like to thank my grandparents for having my parents who had me. And that's it. That's all I've got to thank here. I'm out of here again.
Well, that was quite the speech, Mark. We appreciate that. You practice that one? We should
really sold that, didn't I?
We ought to get a trophy because we have little trophies in the back. We should get,
nobody else plays other than me. And
I know, but maybe that would.
Gil doesn't play for the same reason you don't.
And I understand that, but maybe
we need to get Gil in here to talk about it.
If we up the ante a little bit, we can,
hold on a second. Hold on. You guys are witness to me.
I'm saying.
Hold on. If we up the ante, are you in?
No, I'm not in. I can be the ump. I'll be the ump.
I'm going to ask you this. I'm going to ask everybody this, actually. Somebody said I need to have a team holdout. I'm team holdout, and I'm team caved in shirts. With that picture of me in front of the thermostat, remember that one?
Oh, where you're just like wearing your
Where
hat.
I looked like I was frigid. It was like
I think
60.
your nose was probably like, all red from the cold.
I think it's a merch opportunity.
Is there a merch there?
I think it's a merch opportunity here.
Hashtag holdout, hashtag caved in.
I think it's an opportunity here. I think I'm missing out on
I guess you know what, the people have to decide.
The people are gonna have to decide. If you guys want the team holdout, team caved in.
And they should have, if it's the team caved in, it should probably be like a hoodie. And the team holdout could be like the short sleeve, or maybe even a tank top.
No, you're saying the team caved. I think the team holdout should be the hoodie. Here's why I'm going to argue that.
Because they're cold.
It'll help.
Cold.
It'll help you to get even colder.
True. Okay, maybe that's.
But what happens if I did it for summer? When we're going into summer, it would have to almost be like a tank top or something like that.
Suns out, guns out kind of situation.
So hopefully we were able to help you guys on the rain amounts here. We apologize when we started this video tonight. We had a false start. A couple of technical issues behind the scenes. Remember, when we started to do these Facebook lives and these YouTube lives and these X lives, we kind of worked things and did things a little bit differently in how we do it. We have a studio now. We have a lot of punching capabilities, and these are things that are going to become super valuable. Rick, this is our analyst computer. This is the computer that we're going to be assessing for tornadoes. When we have active weather ongoing, we're going to be able to show multiple. You see, we've got radar in one image. We've got zoom radar in another. We've got weather graphics on a different side. It's going to become incredibly valuable. Rick is going to do a lot in here during severe and during winter. And I think that what we're going to do with what happens during winter weather and during severe is going to be a real value. We know a lot of people watch us on TV, and we appreciate that massively. But we also know that there's a segment of the area that does watch these streams, and they have become incredibly popular. So the streams are going to become a real part of what you do. Let's say I'm on TV. I've got a thunderstorm in the area. You can always watch me on TV. But you also now there's another way, and this is going to give just whatever's easiest for you.
Right. And sometimes you have a severe thunderstorm warning that gets issued, happens to me all the time, right after you do a weather, and you're like, I really wish I could let those people know. So this eliminates that unfortunate circumstance. Yeah, it gives us the opportunities that if all of a sudden, Mark was on or I was on doing a weather, we finish up, and you happen to go under a severe thunderstorm warning, while you get the information, the basics. This is the time, these are the location, these are the impacts. What we're able to do, Mark, is we can go into more detail here, not only zoom in on the storm, show you every single town impacted.
You can walk through the whole thing.
The whole thing, track it off, whatever speed it's going, who's going to get it next, what to expect. Will the hail drop out? Will the winds get stronger? Whatever the case may be, we can really be there for you a lot more and in way more detail, because doing a weather, you have so many areas you want to cover, and you can only say so many town names.
There's no question. TV is catered towards giving just the real nuts and bolts in a sense.
Correct.
And the streaming space in here, we're able to spend a lot more time on the hardcore details of what matters. And that may not be for you.
Correct.
That may also be something you want, but we're going to give it to you in both places. And how do you get alerted? If you're watching on Rick's stream right now, make sure you liked his page. If you're on my page, make sure you click the like button on my page. That way you get an alert. Just so you know, there'll be times I'm on TV and Rick's going to be streaming. If you're on my page right now, head over to Rick DeLuca's page, click like there. That way you get an alert when he goes live. And ultimately, it would just be really, really helpful so that you're able to get the alert if that's for you, so that you'll be able to find us in multiple different ways. So we're going to get ready for the news tonight. We've got a lot to cover here. I do want to answer this one question here before this comes to an end. Somebody asked, I don't know if you had heard that there was a tornado in Mexico Beach in Florida. So there was a tornado. Yeah. So somebody was curious if that was from Melissa. I know. That's exactly why I think. So somebody asked if that tornado that occurred in Mexico Beach was related to Melissa. Zero. Not related in any way, shape, or form. That was a cold front that was diving south on the low up here. So if you guys have time, I'll be on WDRB News at 10. Appreciate you guys support us. By watching, by supporting us, you guys are sure that we'll be here for many, many years to come. So I'll be on at 10 discussing rain now. 10:22 updating, we should be able to even hone in more on the time of the rain.
Yeah, we'll be getting more data in. I mean, it's rolling in right now, so we definitely have to look through some of this before the newscast.
So at 10:22, I'll dial in that, and we're going to spend a lot of time on Halloween, both of us. We want to get that data in. I feel right now that it's going to be dry. I'll update you guys on that on WDRB News at 10:37. He's on 11 and 11:22. And again, we always appreciate you guys supporting. If you love the Facebook Lives, thumbs up and hearts across the screen. Share with your friends, family. That way they can jump in if there's any information they want here. Want to give some love to our people that are following in X and on YouTube. We appreciate you guys in here. That's all for the stream tonight. We'll see you guys.